Hello and welcome back to another episode of Kerbal Conquest. In this episode of Kerbal Conquest, we will be going to Pole and Pop, which are two moons of Jewel, the smallest moons of Jewel. Oh, look at that very shaky rocket. I know now that I've auto-shorted those engines, I'm experiencing cosine losses because they're not pointing straight up through the center of mass of the rocket, but who cares? That's a loss of probably 10 meters per second of delta V. Who cares about that? Anyway, if you're new here, if you're watching this, then you're definitely new, because no one has ever watched any of these ever. Well, actually, someone has watched some of these. I don't know who they are, though. Well, this is the series where I play Kerbal Space Program. You don't need to see the ones that I did before this, because they suck. And this one might also suck. I don't know. Whatever. And look, it's so boring. All I'm doing is just, deleting quick saves, which should automatically delete. That should be a feature, or you should have a feature that's delete all old quick saves, because I don't want to go through and delete all of them. It's annoying. But I guess the KSP developers don't understand that. It took me many burns to go to Jewel, because that's what happens when you go to Jewel. It's very far away, and nuclear engines do not burn very quickly. I don't know if you've noticed this, they don't have much thrust. So it takes a lot of burns. Yeah. And that was me trying to get a Tylo gravity assist. It didn't work, because apparently you have to actually launch into the correct orbit to get a Tylo encounter. English is hard. Because otherwise Tylo, something happens. Because otherwise, you can only get radial out burns using Tylo as a gravity. You can only get the effects of a radial in or out burn when you do a Tylo assist, which was kind of annoying. So I needed to do a small retrograde burn. I know I should stop complaining. It's not that bad. But this is the first time that this has ever happened to me. I've done tons of Tylo assists, and I've always gotten them to be retrograde burns instead of radial in or radial out. It's one of them. I don't know which one. And on screen right now, I should have sped this footage up, which is another thing that I'm annoyed with Kerbal Space Program about. Because why can't we time warp faster? I just want to time warp faster. That would make the game so much more interesting, time warping faster. Because then I wouldn't just be sitting there. In a later part of the mission, I had to do a burn just to decrease the height of my orbit so that I was going faster, because it was taking me so long to do the time warp. Which is fine. You'll probably see it eventually in this video. Or maybe I cut it out. I don't remember. It might be here. It might not be here. I don't actually know, because even if I made this video, I edited this video yesterday, and that's a long time ago. Okay. I need to think of something to talk about. It's the SpongeBob meme thing with the one eternity later. I'm trying to be hip with the kids these days, even though I am young, which is weird. So I don't know why people say I'm trying to be hip with the kids, because I'm a kid and I'm not hip. And a lot of the kids that I'm not actually a kid. Oh shoot, maybe kids are hip. Maybe I've grown out of being hip. Anyway, rambling. Okay, I need to say something about rambling now. Well, Matt Lown also rambles. I don't know if you know him. He's a KSP YouTuber. Think of something to say. He also rambles. So, Matt Lown, I'm coming for your title as Chief KSP Rambler. I don't think that's an actual title. I think his actual title is Doctor, but I might be wrong. And look, that's a plane change burn happening on screen right now. Wow, because we're going to Bop, which is a very inclined moon of Jewel. The reason why I'm going to Bop first is so that I don't have to do 2 plane chain. Well, actually, there was no reason why I wanted to go to Bop first. It was just closer, okay? Because actually, there is a reason, because it is closer, and Pull is like out, so it's farther out. So if you escape Pull, then you enter a farther out orbit than escaping Bop, which allows you to do the thing, get a Kerbin encounter with less Delta V, which is something that I failed at in this mission. But luckily, this craft has way too much Delta V, like way too much Delta V. Which is like cool, I guess. I'm not even talking about what's happening, but that was me getting science experiments from science things. Cool. Science things. I tried to do flying around Bob to get science while aiming camera at the science equipment so that the camera was less shaky this time, and it worked okay. I thought it wasn't even that hard. And yes, I entered a too low Bop orbit, so I wasn't even allowed to time warp. So I used maneuver nodes to fix that. Well, I had to physical time warp and then use maneuver nodes to fix that. Which I think I said the same sentence twice, I think. This is why no one watches my commentaries. Also because I don't have good advertising. And that's the lander that I made, I guess. It's 2 command chairs on a fuel tank with the Science Junior and some science equipment, which you can probably tell. Oh look, the footage has now been sped up to 16 times regular speed, because otherwise it would be very boring. I should have sped some of the other footage in this video up to 16 times speed, but I didn't. Oh look. I'm a failure. I just showed the same clip twice. Once at 16 times speed and the other time at 4 times speed. I guess that makes me bad at video editing. Am I bad at it? I don't know. I didn't actually watch this video to check for mistakes before I started recording the audio. So that's a mistake that I found. And I found it, and I'm not gonna fix it. Because I'm a mad lad. Reddit.com/r/madlads. That's where you'll find me. That's not actually where you'll find me. I don't even have a Reddit account, so don't actually go there. Unless you want to look at videos and pictures and stories of people doing stupid things, which is what r/madlads is devoted to. And look, Bob, I think that's Bob. I can't actually read it because the preview window in this video editor is like incredibly small, which is why I'm not talking about what's going on the screen, because I'm not actually looking at what's going on the screen. Oh no, the lander fell down. That's so sad. And Bob apparently doesn't know how to walk down cliffs properly. What a loser. It's not like I can't walk down cliffs or anything. People could keep on slamming doors in my house. Well, it's not a house, but well, whatever. People keep on slamming doors around here, and it's getting kind of annoying because it's interfering with my video. Oh well. Too bad. And I need to talk about something, but I don't know what to talk about, so I'll just talk about not being able to talk about things. Don't you hate it when you're like in a conversation and you're trying to talk to someone, but you can't think of anything to say? That's never happened to me, because I never have conversations. Haha, COVID-19. Well, actually, lots of people have been complaining about COVID-19, but I actually find it not that bad. Because I like staying inside, and now I have an excuse to stay inside all day, every day. It's really fun. you should try staying inside. And like, if you think of things to do, like if you make your own hobbies or whatever, it can be fun. Like, for example, you could try making YouTube videos. Even if no one watches them, it's actually really fun. And apparently, on the screen, I'm trying to control something without a pilot, and it didn't work, so I couldn't use SAS. So I couldn't use SAS, which is why it didn't work. There we go. English, it's got grammar rules, which are kind of difficult. So I brought the pilot back on so that I could reuse SAS, and then I reapproached the nuclear thing, the mothership. I was about to sneeze, which is why I stopped talking. It's really dusty in this closet, which is probably because I haven't cleaned it in a very long time. And that's what happens when you don't clean things in long amounts of time. Dust happens, and I'm allergic to dust, so I start to like sneeze, I guess. I need to think of something else to say. Okay, so now I'm trying to get a transfer window to that other planet. I think it's called Pole. There we go. And I needed to raise my periapsis, I think that was. It might have been my aquapsis, actually. I can't actually see what's going on screen, so that I could time warp faster, which is another complaint that I have about this game that I've said multiple times in this video. I don't like how the time warp restrictions, and also auto time warp, like the warp here function in the game. I also don't like that. It could be better because it never goes as fast as you want it to. It's always like slightly slower than it should be. Look, I got a pole encounter. Flags have poles, just like how that moon is named Pole. Something. Long videos are kind of hard to narrate. Like, in the beginning, I was doing super well, narrating everything better, but now that I'm here, I'm just complaining about how hard it is to narrate things, which is really... And you can only talk about that for so long. It gets boring after a while, I would assume. I don't know. But look, I don't know. It's an orbital insertion burn. There we go. I thought of something to say. Look, you can make orbital insertion burns when going to other moons, to other planets or moons, by making a maneuver node and then just dragging out retrograde. Because you're going too fast, so you're gonna escape the planet, and then you slow down so that you don't escape the planet. And that's... They're really not that complicated. But anyway, look, Pole, it's a bumpy planet with, small, with mountains, and it's yellow, and there's an Easter egg on it called the Kraken, I think it's called, and it just looks like a Kraken. I think it was added because everyone kept on calling the bugs in this game the Kraken attacks, and they were like, oh, you can now find the Kraken on other planets. And so, my lander is deorbiting from Pole. Well, look at that, 16 times speed, and this time I actually did it correctly, slowing down to 4 times speed just before the landing. See, look, I know how to video edit things, I just don't do it all the time, because it's kind of hard, and doing hard things is hard, and I don't like doing physical labor. Wait, this isn't physical labor. I don't really have any excuses. And that zoom out thingy that I did, I was looking for surface features that I could pick up, and I think that's called like a yellow sandstone, but that can't be right. Is it? I don't know. I can't actually read what that message said because, yet again, too small preview window. I wish I could increase the size of the preview windows, but I can't. So, I'll just deal with it. think of something to say. Look, I'm going up on a suborbital trajectory around pole, and then I made an orbital insertion burn to speed myself up to get into orbit around pole so that I could perform a rendezvous. Aren't I so cool? I know. I know how to play Kerbal Space Program pretty well. I need to think about something to say. Oh, did you know that only 10% of all Kerbal Space Program players have done successful interplanetary missions? I thought that was crazy. Which means that I've beat 90% of all players. And I'm sorry about the ugly coloration of what you're seeing on screen right now. That's because I did my docking at nighttime. And and it was so dark that the screen was just pitch black, so I needed to use color correction to fix that, so that you could actually see something. And it didn't work out. Well, I think it did pretty good. It was just, it kind of hurts your eyes for a bit after you start looking at it, but it gets better, and it allows you to actually see things. And also, pole kind of looked bad because the surface of pole was really, really dark, like darker than everything else. And then when you color corrected it, it just looks white. It just didn't have any texture or color of any kind, which makes it look kind of bad. I need to think of something. I think that there's like 1 minute left in this video, so if you made it this far, keep watching, please. I don't have any friends, and I need someone to make me think that I have friends. So the video was getting kind of long, as it says on screen right now. So we're just gonna cut to re-entry, and I did a polar re-entry because I could, and you could see the poles because the poles are at the poles, and so that means I visited more than one pole in this video. I have the North Pole and the pole of the planet. Isn't that snazzy? And look, a loading screen. Just look at a loading screen. And bye. That's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day and don't die. Where's the pause video button? Here we go. It's not working.